Hey everyone, thank you for tuning into my channel today. If you are new, please make sure to subscribe to this channel, and if you've been subscribed for a while, please make sure to like and comment. So today I'm going to be talking about the 3 things I've learned in marriage so far. As many of you guys already know, I got married back in August, and marriage has been such a blessing. It's been so fun. I've learned so many things, so I'm going to go through quite a few things. We'll see how I feel. I have 3 things written down, but if anything else comes to mind, I am happy to share it with you all. Alright, so let's get right into it. So I have like this piece of paper where I wrote a few things down. I do want to share like a little disclaimer. I am no expert. I've clearly only been married for 6 months, but I promise you guys I've learned so much, and I'm still trying to apply the wisdom and the knowledge. Okay, so the first thing that I've learned is that reconciliation is better than being right. I'm so much better off making peace with my husband rather than being right about something, because at times when you want to be so right about something, you're willing to just throw it in the person's face or just like push your own feelings. And what that can do is actually drive the person away and cause division versus making peace. You know, the Bible tells us to make peace with all men. There's a lot of scriptures that have to do with peace, and that's because when you reflect peace in your marriage, you're allowing room for God to move. And you know, I talk a lot about godly relationships, and if you want a godly relationship, you have to reflect what the Word of God says. And so it's like, if as a wife you're so worried about being right and so worried about, you know, stomping around the house because of this and that, then you're inviting the enemy into your marriage, and the enemy wastes no time of coming in. And the thing about marriage is that naturally it is meant for there to be a oneness. So me and my husband have to be one. And when I make peace with him and I love him gently and I speak to him nicely instead of throwing things in his face, I am allowing the natural a natural and healthy like view and flow of marriage versus like being right, which can cause division. Sometimes it's not about being right. Sometimes it's just about being kind and loving and showing mercy to your husband and even to your wife, if any men are watching. That is what I learned. So mending instead of dividing. And it's okay to be right sometimes. That's absolutely fine if you want to be right. But if you're too worried about being right, then making peace, then you're going to be in trouble. So that's what I've had to learn, because your girl loves to be right. I mean, who doesn't like to be right? But that kind of mindset can often cause pride, which is not healthy, not good. We know that, you know, we're not supposed to have that. So number 2, as a wife, I have learned that it's so important for me to have a schedule. When I was in college, when I had a roommate and I was living with my sister, I could do things on my own time. I could do it whenever I wanted, however I wanted. If I delayed certain things, it was fine. It affected me, but it was fine. But now living with somebody else, what I do and what I don't do affects them. So certain cleaning, cooking, just keeping up the home, paying my credit card bill, paying any bills at all, or just keeping up with certain things. If I don't allow myself to do things when they're supposed to be done, I can affect my husband. Reading off of this, you know, I've had to adjust my life in a way that honors my husband and make sure that he's happy and he's safe. And because I'm the type of person that would rather do things when I want to do them, that doesn't work here, because it's like if the laundry's not done or if certain bills aren't getting paid on time, my husband's looking at me like, okay girl, what are you doing? Why isn't there any food for 2 days? Why isn't there any groceries? Why aren't there any cleaning supplies? What's going on? Why isn't there consistency in certain things? To-do lists saves my life, because when it's there, I know what I'm doing. I know when I'm doing it. I'm planning a schedule. We have 3 days a week that we're cooking big meals. We have every other day we're cleaning something in the house. We have something kind of going on. So I've taken on a role of being the maker of my home, which has required me to have a schedule along with work, along with doing Instagram. A lot of things can naturally fall through the cracks. That's just how life goes. And it may not affect me to not do certain things, but it will affect my husband. So I need to have a schedule because being a wife is a responsibility and it comes with a lot of different things. My camera stand is a little bit shaky, so that's why we're having some issues here, but we move. All right, and I wanted you guys to see my shirt that someone gave to me. It says Young, Saved, Enslaved. I'm going to find the person's Instagram and link it down below. It's a really cute shirt. She has like a whole bunch of different colors, so make sure you guys check out her Instagram. The last thing that I learned, and I feel like this is really, really huge and huge for me. I learned that I have a lot more influence on my husband than I think. We're together all the time. We are now one. If I'm leveling up, he's leveling up. If I'm moving, he's moving. And although men are called to be leaders of the home, there's something about a wife. You know, I see and I know my husband. I'm getting to know him in a way that no one else will ever know him. And just by, people talk about energy and energy. My energy will affect my husband's energy. My prayer life will affect my husband. How I speak to him will affect my husband. It is my responsibility as a wife to see what is it that my husband is struggling with. How can I help? Everything that I do affects him whether I know it or not. So if I'm walking around the house with an attitude, it can affect him. If he comes in the house, the house is a mess, or the first thing that I do is scream insults at him, it will affect him. So I've noticed that the more happy I am, the more in the Lord I am, the more I'm close to God, it really brings like a calmness to my home. And it's important as a wife that I'm intentional about what I say to my husband, how I react when he says certain things, how I speak to him. And although my husband is very independent, I'm a helper. The Lord has called me to be a helper. And I've noticed that as a woman, we have the ability to sense things in a way that men can't, and we see things very, very far, and we should use that to our advantage. Something that the Lord has been walking me through is prayer for my husband, prayer for, everything concerning him. Those are important. That's how I influence him. And yeah, those are some of the things that I learned. I hope you guys enjoy this video and be blessed, and feel free to comment down below whatever questions you guys have. I'll be happy to answer them. Bye guys.